Hello everyone, my name is Ushanthan Ponnambalam, coming to you from South Korea. Welcome to How to Choose the Right Major for You. On this podcast we will talk about how people from different parts of the world are trying to fulfill their dream of getting the job that they are passionate about.
Hello, my name is Frits. I'm 24 years old. I'm studying communication and media and I'm in my third year of college. And I'm currently an exchange student in South Korea.
Hello everybody, my name is Rimon. I'm 19 years old and I'm a second year communication media student and I'm currently also an exchange student in South Korea.
How would you describe communication and multimedia design?
Well, communication and media in the Netherlands is a 4-year study where you learn how to make a wide variety of media products like videos, photos, posters, magazines, websites, apps, like basically everything media related. And students usually specialize within one of those subjects. Rimon and I, we specialize in making videos and photos. The communication part of the study is like learning how to advertise and communicate your products to the target audience as best as you can.
What were your expectations before starting the study?
Before starting this study, I was expecting a lot of freedom, especially in choosing what you learn, because I heard a lot of stories like teachers don't pursue they don't actually pursue you to learn something. They don't go after you. You really have to make your own way in study. There are no really mandatory lectures. For example, you usually just work on group projects. There are some lectures you have to follow, but they are I think they're more needed in the beginning of the study, like in the first year. But as soon as you get into the second year, you have a lot more freedom in it, because you already know a lot of stuff and you just have to build on what you already know. Because you work on the group projects, you work with real clients and you get to have a practical experience. So in that way you already know how to apply the stuff you learn, and that makes it more interesting to learn as well. What I expected of the major before I started it was that I was thinking I would learn a lot of tools like Photoshop and Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere, all that stuff like video editing and all the creating part of the multimedia studies, that I would learn how to do it. And I was already interested in it in the first part, but I was expecting the study to take it to another level, and using the guidance of the teachers and their skills to help it elevate to another level.
So you were interested in video editing before you even started the education. Did you have a big portfolio before you started?
Because you work on a lot of projects during the study, I was hoping to expand my portfolio in my study, because I didn't really have... I had the interest to do stuff, but it was mostly just the homemade kind of videos and photos. You know, you're just starting out you're just starting out your hobby, and you're developing your skills and you're searching where your interests lie. And I was hoping that the study would, so that you could eventually at the end of the study you could have a big portfolio and just show it to companies and maybe get even a job or something, or just maybe even just to gain the experience. Because sometimes I think if you're doing also another option was doing a business or economic study, and the thing is with that you most of the times you have a job guarantee. If you have an internship, 99% of the time you will probably get a job in it. With our study it's a little bit different, I guess, because it really depends on your skills and how good you are, maybe talent even. I think before starting the study you just need to have some interest in multimedia, maybe even a portfolio to say. It would be nice that you could show some stuff that you created before, and just maybe also for yourself to get to know if you're a creative person, because I think there are some people around there and they think oh yeah, I really want to do something with that, but they haven't actually done anything with it yet, creating something. And you should just it's maybe a sort of test for yourself, are you able to do it?
Frits, you've been studying communication and media for 3 years now. What do you like the most about it?
I think the fact that we can choose what we want to specialize in, And with that, I mean back in middle and high school, we all had subjects that we didn't really like and that we weren't really interested in, but we still had to do them. With my current major, it's more like if you don't want to learn something, then you don't have to. You can just let other people do that within the project. But if you really want to specialize in something, you can choose to do it.
I think one of my favorite parts of the education is that you work in teams, and that's like a skill at least I didn't really have before, like working in teams. I was mostly like a lone wolf, to call it, and I really hated group projects because I always had the feeling like I had to do everything. But during the study, I sort of learned how to work together with other people, and it made me I think it made me a better teammate in general, and I think it's really good for the working field as well, just to work in groups and know how it is to handle responsibilities and have like a project manager above you. And it can sometimes also be actually like really fun if you're with good people. You can make some good friends through it.
So you're doing most of your projects in groups. How do you get graded based on those projects?
Yeah, we work with learning goals. We have to make our own development plans. So you specify what you want to learn during the semester. And most of the times you find it out during the course of the project. You do a project for the client, and there are certain skills necessary to achieve the result you want to get for the client. During this time, you kind of find out like, oh, I didn't know this before, so you have to be more competent in that area, so you get to learn more and more and more.
If you don't have grades, how do you differentiate the good students from the bad?
I think the good students are differentiated from the bad if they show interest outside of school in multimedia. So they actively like try to do a good job in the group projects, like work hard and show their effort. But they also like to do multimedia stuff outside of school. Like they have their own media company or something, or they make videos, photos, do designs for companies, that kind of stuff. They all, like the students who really stand out, they all have something they really specialize in outside of school. Like as long as you try and you just show that you're interested and you ask good questions and you yourself are like really, really interested, then I think the teachers will notice you, and then you will be seen as maybe one of the better students. Yeah. Most of the times the teachers, they come from a field of expertise in the multimedia world, and they kind of they like for every little thing you want to know, there's like one teacher who has like really a lot of knowledge about it. Like you can ask them everything and they know, because they've been working in the field for a long time. And they can really help you. So if you ask them, you can gather more knowledge yourself, but they also get to know you more. And that's a positive thing, because they don't see you unless you seek them out. Like that's the main thing, yeah.
Also, I think that because at the end you have to do an assessment with your teachers and you have to explain them why you got better at something. And if you already talk with them a lot beforehand, they already know what you did, so you don't have to explain that much anymore.
I really enjoy our study because I just love the way we work in the projects, and because we're so free to do anything, you can be really creative. And like that's the thing, most of the studies I've seen or I've looked into, or most of the majors I've looked into, most of the times they're just, I don't know, they're like in the box and you have to do it this way or that way. And for communication multimedia design, it's just you can do it any way you want to, and that's the greatest part of it. You can really train your creative part of your brain.
That's it for this episode. I want to thank you for listening, and I want to thank my guests, Frits and Rimon, for coming and sharing their experience.